So we're going to kick off in a very original way by asking you all to just take 2 minutes to tell us a bit about yourselves and about your companies and what it is that you do. We can start with Cameron on the end there if you want.
Great. Brilliant. Thanks, Elliott. I'm the founder of Prodigy Finance. So we set out to solve what was a clear pain point for people who are traveling across borders. So anyone who's going to study internationally, so you're coming from Ghana, you're going to Stanford or Oxford, getting access to loan funding is incredibly difficult because banks think about risk in a really localized way. So if you arrive, at Stanford from Ghana, the bank doesn't know how to risk assess you in the States, doesn't know how to think about you when you move back to Ghana, how to collect from you when you move back. So that kind of localized banking makes it extremely difficult for someone who's crossing a border. And it's not just students. There's 250 million people living outside of their home country. It makes it extremely friction-filled to be able to get a loan to fund your education. So what we have is a marketplace in which we fund students currently from 120 different countries. We've funded about just over $500 million so far, and we have a fantastic repayment rate, really sort of proving out the model that we can risk score and this group of people does repay. The funding of that comes from a variety of sources. So we have crowdfunding to the alumni networks of the school. So for example, alumni from Oxford will fund the next generation of students for return, as well as additional funding from other institutions. We're between London, our tech operations in Cape Town, and a small office in New York.
So I'm Shivani. I'm the CEO and founder of Tala. I want to start with actually talking about the problem that we're solving and our mission. So the problem that we're solving is that about 3 billion people around the world are currently underserved from financial services and financial institutions. And something that I learned while I was actually doing the research for this was actually that only about 31% of the adult population is actually covered by a credit bureau. And so the problem that we're really focused on right now is figuring out how can we provide financial access, choice, and control to the underserved, mainly in emerging markets. So what we developed is a smartphone application that allows an individual to download our app, apply for a loan, and receive an instant decision regardless of their financial history. And so the kind of data that we're bringing in is really everything from smartphone daily life data, but actually more proprietary data sets as well that focus on behavioral daily life information that actually relates to all of us. So right now, Tala is working across East Africa, the Philippines, Mexico, and then our main office is in Los Angeles, but we do have teams in each of these markets. We've dispersed over $250 million US now in capital in the last 2 years, and we just crossed about 1 million customers on the platform last week.
Congratulations. Geoffroy.
Hi, my name is Geoffroy Guigou, so I'm the co-founder of Younited Credits. So we might be one of the biggest French fintech as of today by the number of employees, so 210, among which 60 at tech. And by the amount of equity we raised, so 100 million euros. Basically, we are an online lending platform operating in 5 countries, so France, Italy, Spain, Germany, and Austria. And we'll be passing the threshold of 1 billion euros in cumulative loans since inception this year. What distinguishes us from other online lending platforms over the world and what makes us unique is actually our credit institution license. So we have a full ECB credit institution license, enabling us to go in 28 countries and also to collect term deposits on our balance sheet. So basically, I think we are closer from what Goldman Sachs is going with Marcus than from other traditional online lenders. Apart from B2C, we have launched a B2B2C offer in December. So our online lending platform is fully accessible through APIs and enables players like insurers, neobanks, online banks to launch a consumer loan business in a matter of months, so less than 4 months. And we've launched, for instance, a first partnership with N26. So N26 clients in France, when they apply for a consumer loan, it's originated and supported by Younited Credit.
Okay. And Geoffroy, I think, if I'm not mistaken, you're the first French fintech to appear on stage at this year's Fintech Forum. So I'm going to start with you. How is 2018 looking? What should we expect this year from Younited Credit?
Well, it would still be a year of huge growth, so we want to maintain roughly 100% growth in revenues and origination year on year. So given the size of the company, it gets more and more a challenge after the years pass, of course. So still a year of huge growth. On the product side, we'll be launching our instant decisioning loan this year, which is quite a huge innovation in France and in Europe also on consumer loan of that size, average size between 5,000 and 6,000 euros. And last point is developing partnerships. So we have a huge demand from neobanks, online banks that want to access our technological origination platform. And basically, since our license is passportable across Europe, I think that we are the only one which can answer their needs. There are huge revenues on consumer loans. Many players, online banks, neobanks, have low revenue model, so we can, of course, partner efficiently with them.
And it's just the neobanks and the kind of new kids on the block that are trying to partner with you, or any of the incumbents?
Not only,
as well?
we are about to launch several offers of consumer loans in France and in other countries, including Italy, with more like traditional insurers.
Okay, Shivani.
When I think of kind of what comes next for us, I think obviously there is continued geographic expansion. So we are looking at other markets in Latin America, Southeast Asia, as well as South Asia, because it is really exciting to see that a lot of these governments are pushing financial inclusion and actually creating the infrastructure now for products like ours. But I also think of it more as vertical expansion. And so thinking about how can we use the understanding of these customers and the data that we have to further that relationship. And so we are looking at products in savings, insurance, financial education, as well as, I would say, longer term kind of investment products as well.